Hello guys. So in this session we are going to learn how to instrumenting Java application with Maven using OpenTelemetry Java Agent. Okay. So let's start. So first of all, the prerequisite is before you start, ensure that the following is installed on your system. First of all, we need a AWS account with Ubuntu instance, and we need Java Development Kit, that means JDK, and Maven install. If you don't have these two prerequisites, then we are going to install this. So let's follow the video. Okay. So let's start. So first of all, let's set up the Ubuntu instance. Okay. So first of all, you need to launch your instance. So as you can see here, I have successfully launched and successfully connected to my terminal Ubuntu 24.04 EC2 instance. Okay. So let me clear screen first. Now, the next step is let's update the system package list. Okay. So let's update. So as you know, the update command sudo apt update. So as you can see, it almost done. Okay. Okay. So we have successfully updated our system package. Okay. Then the next is let's install the first prerequisite, that is OpenJDK 17. So Spring Boot requires Java. So let's install OpenJDK. So here I'm going to install OpenJDK 17. Okay. So as you can see, it's installing OpenJDK 17 on our Ubuntu system. Okay, it's done. So we have successfully installed OpenJDK 17. If you want to check the details of it, then you can enter the command java-hyphen version. So you can see the version 17 OpenJDK, right? So okay, so it's done. Now the next step is let's install. Okay, you can see you should see the version of details of your Java installations. Okay, now let's install Maven. Okay, the next step is let's install Maven. So Maven is a build tool used to manage Java projects. So let's install Maven using the command sudo apt install maven-y. As you can see, it's done. We have successfully installed Maven. If you want to check the details of Maven or verify the installations, then you can run the command Maven version. MVN version, you can see Apache Maven 3.8.7. Home directory, the Java version is 17.0.15. That's it, OpenJDK, right? Okay. So we have successfully installed Maven also. Okay. So it's done. We have successfully installed the prerequisites. Okay. Now let's move to the next step. Okay. Now the next step is let's create a new Java application with Maven. So Maven follows a standard directory layout which makes it easier to manage projects and to create a new Maven project. So you can use command line. Okay. So we are going to use this command line. Okay. Sorry. You can use the command line. Okay. Now let's run the following command to create a new project. Okay. So let's run this command. We are going to run this command mvn this command and okay. We are going to run this command. Okay. So first of all, let's understand the command. So first of all, what is group ID? So as you can see here, the group ID you can see here. right? So what is group ID? So a group ID is a unique identifier for your project, usually the package name. Then artifact ID. Okay, so you can see artifact ID. Okay, the artifact ID means the name of your project. So our project name is Java sample, and the unique identifier of project is com dot example, right? And the artifact ID, that means the name of our project is Java hyphen simple. Then here you can see architect type artifact ID, right? That means here you can see the template of your project. Maven archetype quick start create a simple Java project, you can see here. Okay, then you can see interactive mode. Okay, here interactive mode, so that means the set to false to skip interactive prompts. So here, as you can see in command, we have successfully set this false. Okay, now let's run this command to create a new project. Okay, so let's run this command. Okay, as you can see, it's done. Okay, now let's clear screen first. As you can see, build succeed. Now if I run the ls command, that as you can see our project. Okay, right. So let's navigate to the project. So let's inside this. And if I run the ls command, as you can see the files. Okay, so now here the pom.xml project object model. POM means project object model.xml file is the core of Maven project, and it contains configuration details such as dependencies, build settings, and project information. So let's create this file using the nano editor, nano pom.xml in this location, as you can see here. And here we need to replace this with following code. So let's replace it. So let's replace. So I'm going to remove this first and replace with my code. Okay. So let's replace this. Yeah. Okay. Now let's save the file and exit. Okay. Now if I run the ls command, now there is, you can see pom.xml and src. Okay. Then after that, now let's create a Java application and controller. Okay. So let's create a new file named diceapplication.java and restcontroller.java. So in this src main java com example directory with the following content. Okay. So first of all, let's navigate to this particular location. So let's run this command. Let's go to this location. And if I run the ls command in this location, there is one file with the name app.java. Now let's create with, so first of all, we need to remove this default app.java file. So run the command sudo rm, that means remove, and your file name to remove this. Now let's run the ls command. Now there is no any files. Okay. Now let's create a dice.application file. Sorry, dice.java file. And let's add this following code from here to here. Okay. Okay. So as you can see the code, so let's understand the code first. Okay. So this is the main application code for the simple Java Spring Boot project, right? Which launches a web applications without displaying the Spring Boot banners. Okay. Now, first of all, the packages. Okay, there is a package com.example, right? So that's the defines the package for the Dice application class in a Java package helps organize and classes locally and avoid the naming conflict. Okay. The next is import statement. Okay, that three import statements. So this import Spring Boot classes for app startup and configuration, right? and along with the banner for application customizations. Okay. The next one is here classes, right? Class annotation. Okay. In this class annotation here, you can see, first of all, Spring Boot application. This annotation marks the main class of the Spring Boot applications, enabling features like configuration that allow Java-based app configuration in place of XML, right? Then next one is enable auto configuration. Okay, that enable auto configuration is enables automatic configuration of spring based on dependencies, right? Then component scan, that scan the package for spring components like controllers, services, right? So that making them available for these applications. Okay, and in last, the classes and main methods. Okay, that declares the dice application as the main class, like Spring application app, right? You can see a Spring applications app here, as you can see here, right? That then that's disable the banner for the cleaner console output, right? And so on. And in last, you can see here app.run args. Okay, argument that start the application launching the embedded web server. Okay, so that's the meaning of this file. So let's save this and exit. Now if I run the ls command, as you can see, the dice application.java file here. Okay, now let's create the next file. Now the next file is let's create a role controller.java class to simulate the dice role. Okay, so let's create this and let's add the data. So now after that, let's understand this code. Okay. So this role controller class handles HTTP requests for rolling a dice, and it provides endpoints that simulates rolling a dice and logs, right? And the result optionally associating with it player game. Okay, sorry, player names. Okay, so first of all, as you can see, the package declaration, package com.example that organize the classes under the com.example package. As you know, the next one is import that java.util optional, java.util concurrent, thread locus, that thread randoms, right? And so on the details you can see here that the imports files, right? Okay. Then next one is here you can see that REST controller annotation that indicates the class is a Spring REST controller capable for of handling HTTP request and returning HTTP response, right? Then logger, it's a private static finer logger, right? That's the line, right? That initialize a logger for the classes log dice role information. Then index method. Okay, here index method, right? So in this index method, that first of all get mapping that maps the roll dice URL. This method allowing HTTP get request to the trigger of dice roll and logic. Then at the rate request permanent players. Okay, that's the optional string players that captures the optional player, that query parameter from the URLs. Okay, for example, like roll dice question mark players is equals to something name, right? That's the URL. Okay, so that's the index method. Okay, and in last, get random number. Okay, that's get random method number. Sorry, get random number method that generates a random number between the specified mean and max value using the thread location random dot current dot next int. That line you can see mean max plus one. Okay, that's the meaning of this file. Let's save the file and exit. Okay, it's done. So we have successfully created two files here, right? If I run the ls command, so first of all, I'm going to clear screen. And if I run the ls command, as you can see, there is a two files, dice application.java and role controller.java, that we have successfully create two files. Okay. Then next is, now the next step is, let's build and run the Java application. So first of all, let's navigate back to the root directory of project. So our root directory of project is java-simple. So let's go to this. You can see now we are in Java simple. Okay. Now let's build the project. So how to build? So simply run this command mvn package. Okay. And the output jar file will be located in the target directory. Now, as of now, we don't have any target directory. As you can see, if I run the ls command here, there is two files. One is file and one is folder, pom.xml and src folder. Now, if I run this command, then there is a jar file created. Okay, you can see build succeed. So let me clear screen first. And run the ls command. As you can see, there is a target folder. If I go to this target folder, and run this command, as you can see, there is a jar file, hello world 1.0 snapshot jar, right? Okay. Okay, that's the file that we have created. Okay, so you can see. Okay, now let's run this application. How? So Java hyphen jar, in this target folder there is a jar file, hello world, this snapshot dot jar that we have seen, right? So let's run this application. As you can see, our application is running. Okay, now the application is now running, so you can access it by using this command. So first of all, you need to copy your instance IP and hit on browser, and the port number is 8080. And after that, you need to enter this slash roll dice. So as you can see, our application is running. As you can see, right? So when the application runs, you should see the telemetry data such as traces, logs, and metrics in the console. So let's check. If I click on this and let's check the console here, you can see 2363. After that, 51. You can see 51. Right? Right. So the OpenTelemetry agent automatically instruct the application and requiring no code changes for monitoring. You can see if I run this again, hang 5221. See, 522221. Right. Okay. So that's the running. Okay. Now I'm going to stop this. How to stop? Control plus C. Okay. Then after that, now the next step is, let's integrate OpenTelemetry Java Agent. Okay, so let's download the OpenTelemetry Java Agent using the curl command. As you can see, it's done. Now let's set the environment variables. And now let's run this application OpenTelemetry. Now if I run this, as you can see, it's stop. Right. So let's run this. As you can see, it's running. 6, right? So when the application runs, you should see the open telemetry data such as traces, logs, and metrics in the console. And the OpenTelemetry agent automatically instruct the applications requiring no code changes for monitoring. You can see here, you can see three. After that, four. Let's check four. You can see the data 225, right? You can see anonymous player is rolling the dice and so on the details about it. That's it. So it's done. So in this session, we have learned instrumenting Java application with Maven using OpenTelemetry Java Agent. So thank you for watching and I hope you understand.